the three of us on a road trip from Portland, Oregon to Yellowstone National Park. And this video is going to be about showing you all the odd roadside attractions between point A, Portland, Oregon, and point B, Yellowstone. Coming up.
The submarine's underground still, so.
Garbage goat.
Spaceship.
Montana. It's a very cool stop.
With the help of my lovely wife, Jennifer, we use only state-of-the-art analog technology to demonstrate our road trips. And on this particular road trip, we left Portland, Oregon on I-84 eastbound through the Columbia River Gorge. We crossed into Washington on US 97 and then took a rather windy way through the Apple State, I-82 East, I-182, US 395 to I-90, where we crossed into Idaho through the Panhandle and all the way through to Bozeman, Montana, where we finally connected to US 89, and that took us to the Mammoth area of Yellowstone National Park. As we start this journey with Jennifer and my sidekick, Patrick, I would be totally remiss not to mention Multnomah Falls. The tallest waterfall in the state of Oregon. It is one of the most popular tourist attractions. It is so popular that a timed entry permit is required through recreation.gov between the time period of May 23rd through September 1st. I'm going to throw this in as a bonus. But this is really not about the popular attractions. This is about the odd roadside attractions. So let's move on to number one. The United States' own version of Stonehenge. This is a true replica, they say, of the one in Wiltshire, England. And I apologize to my good friends Jane and Paul who live there if I mispronounced it. This site is located just as you cross into Washington on US 97. Stonehenge in Washington is big rig friendly. I visited this back in 2014 with my 31-foot RV, and it fit just fine. The history of this unique place is that it was commissioned by a wealthy entrepreneur by the name of Sam Hill, dedicated on July 18th, 1918 when they broke ground, and they finished it in 1929. Sam Hill wanted it to be a war memorial, and the reason he chose Stonehenge as a war memorial was that the relevant interpretation of the original Stonehenge in Wiltshire, England, was that that center stone in the middle of the circle was a sacrificial stone, and he wanted people to know that humanity is still being sacrificed to the god of war. War memorial for people that fought in World War I, who came from this county, Klickitat County, Washington. And the views are pretty amazing. Is the mighty Columbia River with a fantastic view of Mount Hood.
Tanya, Stonehenge. Now you don't have to go to England.
Okay, when life hands you lemons, you got to make lemonade. Teapot gas station.
The largest teapot in Zillah, Washington.
Is a product of a man named Jack Ainsworth drinking moonshine in 1922 while he's angry at President Harding. Apparently, his Secretary of the Interior was selling access to naval oil field reserves to the highest bidder. The one that was the most prominent was an oil field located in Wyoming, and it was known as the Teapot Dome oil field. And good old Jack thought it'd be pretty darn funny to make a gas station that would sell gasoline in the shape of a teapot in protest of President Harding. One of the neat things about this gas station building is that the spout functioned as the chimney for the station's wood stove, keep that attendant warm. The city of Zillah offered up to move it and restore it, and they moved it to their visitor center. For you RVers out there, the Teapot parking lot is not suitable. However, there is a grocery store just to the east. We came to see the Teapot, and we were pleasantly surprised to find two rather impressive memorials right next to it. The first is a tribute to the 12 fallen firefighters in Yakima County, and the second is a 21 concrete pillar memorial to veterans from all over the country, alive or dead. I have found out that for a small fee of $100, you can purchase a nameplate and have your veteran's name placed on the memorial. I'll put some information in the description if you want to do that.
There he is, Dave, our fearless travel guide.
The first submarine to ever circumnavigate the Earth underwater. It stayed underwater for 3 months. It went all the way around in 1960. And it's sitting in Tri-Cities, Washington. How cool is that? This historic mission with the code name Operation Sandblast just happened to be its shakedown cruise, or its maiden voyage with a crew. They were underwater for 83 days and 9 hours. They traveled over 41,000 land miles, aka 36,000 nautical miles. The boat had a rather short life. It was commissioned in 1960 and was decommissioned in 1969. But we are fortunate that the sail was saved, and it has been living in its home in Richland, Washington since October of 2009. The parking lot is too small for an RV. However, this area directly to the east is a bunch of semi-trucks. Don't know who owns it, but if a semi-truck fits, I bet you an RV would.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.
Okay, garbage goat. That's awesome. Built in 1974 for Expo 74 World Fair, Sister Mary Paulina Turnbull, also known as the Welding Nun, built the garbage goat. Her intent was to teach children to not litter. So the way it works is the child walks up to the goat, it's garbage, the parent stands by the button for the vacuum, hits the vacuum, and feeds the goat. Seattle has its Space Needle, and Spokane has its garbage goat. The goat is located inside of Riverfront Park. This 100-acre area is impressive. Built on the site of a former railroad yard, the Spokane River cascades over basalt rocks and 2 dams to create the largest urban waterfall in the country. Additionally, they have a gondola, an outdoor ice skating rink, large outdoor play structures for the kids, a giant radio flyer, outdoor sculptures. Our favorite was of astronaut Michael P. Anderson, who died in the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. This park is located in the middle of the city. It is not big rig friendly. I would suggest staying in a nearby RV resort and then driving to this fantastic city park. For all you Gen X people out there, this seating arrangement is reminiscent of what amazing science fiction show from the 1980s. Go. How about a real estate building in the shape of a miner's hat? Kellogg, Idaho. Marietta Page had the building built in 1940 off of US 10 as a roadside diner. The building itself is 20 feet in diameter and 20 feet high. Miners would stop by and grab a beer along with a Coney Island hot dog. That's a chili dog for those of you that don't know. In 1963, I-90 was built and it bypassed the restaurant. The owners lost faith and it became a real estate agency building in 1967. Next adventure is a UFO The UFO was purchased from a movie prop store. The owners placed it in front of the Red Light restaurant. And this site's history goes all the way back to 1890 when the site hosted a brothel. Get the name? In the 1940s, it became a gas station. In the 1990s, it became a full-time auto repair shop. And in 2004, it was converted into a cafe. Inside the restaurant is the real treat. The old auto lifts are hidden inside of the counters and the tables. It has tons of cool flair all about it. Story goes, owner Jamie and Barbara used some license plate to hide a hole in the ceiling, and those license plate grew just all around the place. The patrons and the staff were super cool when we visited, and the town which the restaurant sits in, the town of Wallace, is just super cool to see as I-90 soars high above the old mining town.
Look, it's a big rooster.
Do we look better like this or like this? Let us know in the comments.
Oh no.
I have my personal preference, but let us know.
We are here. We're going to go here and look at a prison.
This old prison is older than the state of Montana itself. Built in 1871 by the prisoners themselves, it functioned as the primary penal institution for the territory and state of Montana up until 1979. It is open for self-guided tours between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. However, when we visited in the month of February,
Unfortunately, the prison is closed. So if you're here in the summer, stop on by.
fortunately, my family and I had visited the prison back in 2016. For you RVers, there is street parking available. I was able to find a space for my Ford crew cab pulling our 21-foot bumper pole trailer. We are in Anaconda, Montana, and this is a dedication to the miners of the town. And behind them is what we came to see. Standing tall since 1918, this smokestack is 585 feet tall, and it smelted ore or melted rocks for copper production up until 1980. One of the byproducts of smelting is that the smoke that comes from the stack leaches arsenic and lead all around it. In fact, it's so toxic that visitors are not allowed within 1 mile of the smokestack. To give you an idea how wide this thing is, they do have a circular representation of the smokestack within the viewing area. And to give you an idea how tall this thing is, the Washington Monument can easily fit inside of it. This is on Anaconda's Smokestack State Park. However, there is no charge to visit the viewing area of the smokestack and the tribute to the miners. For you RVers out there, there is a open space west of the parking lot for big rigs. However, I don't think I'd have a lot of fun trying to negotiate around the parked cars to get to that area. Welcome to the 1950s. Our last stop on this road trip takes us to the Sapphire Motel. Because a motel has the doors on the
Outside.
and a hotel has doors on the
Inside.
It opened in 1940. Back then it was known as the Glen Motel. In 2021, two brothers acquired the motel and they decided to take it back to its 1950s roots. The lobby looks like something right out of Leave It to Beaver. These retro furnishings continue on to the rooms where they even offer classic 1950s glass tumblers for use in your room. Obviously, if you're traveling with an RV, a roadside motel won't fit into your plans. We thought this was a great place to rest our head before we hit the national park in the morning. No, I'm not a sponsor. I just thought it was a super cool motel.
I'm listening you up.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, we're off exploring the Forest Service roads outside of Oak Ridge, Oregon.
Gorgeous. Love it out here.
And it dawned on us, you guys might wonder how we found all these amazing roadside attractions. Let me show you. It's an app called Roadside America. And it turns out we're in the woods, there's no internet. So let's go back to the city. And if you click there, and let's say, for example, that you're vacationing in Gary, Indiana, it will show you all the cool things to check out in Gary, Indiana, like a life-size statue of the kid stuck to the pole in the movie A Christmas Story. How awesome is that? The other thing that I like about this app is that it's a one-time purchase. It is not a subscription. It has saved us on many a road trip when we were bored. Oh, look, the place where Michael Jackson was born. We made it.
Hello, Yellowstone.
830 miles. We visited 9 roadside attractions. Patrick, what was your favorite roadside attraction?
There's a spaceship that went to the gas station, talked to the old people, and got a gist of the town. It's really cool stuff on the inside.
Spaceship. Jennifer.
Everything at the Spokane City Park.
Spokane City Park. And I loved the USS Triton submarine thing. We'll see you in the next one.